So let's talk about composition really quick and sketching your painting. When you are thinking about putting the image to the canvas, think about the space of the canvas and how you're going to utilize that to your advantage. So this is a portrait for my collection called 8 Hours, 5 Colors, and I'm just going to walk you through underpainting. I do all my sketches in graphite. Some people like to do their sketch in charcoal, which is fine. I think you kind of have to experiment with what you like best. I like graphite because it's cleaner. Charcoal kind of tends to get everywhere, and I always end up with it on my face because I'm messy like that. Super light sketch, just to kind of figure out where things are going to go, and then you're going to choose an underpainting color. And we do underpainting for a couple reasons. The first is that your painting, because of the way the tooth of the canvas is and the way the brush lays down paint, you're going to get little tiny white dots that come through. So say you just put down oil paint, blah, like that, and it was black, it would sort of look like the night sky. You'd have all these little tiny white dots coming through. But if we put down an underpainting, which is green or something, when you go over it with that black, it's going to be much less obvious that there are these little tiny pinpricks in it. So that's one reason we do an underpainting. Another reason we do an underpainting is because it gives us a chance to sort of solidify where we want everything to go, to figure out where our shadows are going to be, what shapes we want to incorporate, and it gives you a chance to step back and look at your painting before you commit fully with oil paint. So there's two reasons, and the third reason, and this is why we have to think about color choice when we do an underpainting, is that your underpainting will show through. Those little pinpricks will become sort of a theme for your painting. You'll get a general overall color sense from your underpainting. So if you paint your underpainting in hot pink, your end painting result will be slightly hot pink or subconsciously hot pink. So think about what you want your painting to emanate, for lack of a better word, and then choose your underpainting color wisely. So you take your very technical and very fancy lid from some kind of plastic container that has been washed well, because the last thing you want is little bits of cottage cheese in your painting. And put down a little bit of paint. Put down a little bit, half a teaspoon worth of gloss. And remember that acrylic dries quickly. So the more paint you put out, the more you have to pay attention to where your paint is in the drying scale. So if you just put out a little bit at a time and sort of mix as you go, that tends to work out better than putting down a huge amount, mixing up a big blob, and then trying to work with it. You're gonna make a very thin slurry of paint, and see how little I mixed up. It's just a tiny, tiny bit. And then we're gonna go to work on the face. Is create a black and white version on your canvas of the work that you're gonna do. So you're just working on getting in the shadows, figuring out where the features go. I'll probably paint the background because I want to get as much white as possible sort of dampened down. But remember, white is not bad everywhere. So in the places where she is really white, in the reflection in her eyes, in her teeth, in this little reflection on her lip, in her shawl, leave that white. You're gonna want that white later on. So, as you're starting your underpainting. And I start with, this is sort of a medium-sized brush, so I start with a medium-sized brush and a very thin, you know, mixture of the color so that I can just kind of get a general feeling. And as I work my way through the underpainting, I'll move to smaller brushes and more straight paint